Greetings, my fabulous Osher students. Today we have the pleasure of talking about music and nationalism and revolutions, music revolutions and nationalism. What an interesting topic for a course. I hope it will be. Well, first off, revolutions. Everybody has them. We've got the French, the Russian, the American. Those are just three. And of course, with France, you don't just have three, you have 5 or 6. Now, one of the problems with revolutions is they don't always produce great music. Nationalism, on the other hand, does produce great music, but it doesn't always lead to things that are particularly positive. Just some examples. The Russian Revolution, a horrific event in many ways, produced incredible music during the Soviet regime, which we'll look at. The American Revolution, we didn't have great musical infrastructure at this time in this country, and so there are no orchestras in the late 18th century. There's some interesting choral music, some interesting songs, and some interesting music in colonial America. The revolution in France, while there are some not particularly fabulous pieces written during revolutionary France itself, music written slightly after that during the 19th century in France is interesting, and especially interesting is the musical revolution that France creates with music by Debussy and Ravel post 1870, and also right around World War I, when there's, of course, yet another revolution in France. Nationalism. Nationalism, truthfully, though, it almost always comes to a bad end, particularly for the nationalistic country, does produce a lot of amazing classical music, concert music, whatever you want to call it. The 1848 revolutions produced incredible music by people like Wagner, by Schumann, by Brahms, all of the Hungarian revolutionaries who Liszt, eventually leading to Bartók and Kodály. All of this nationalism, though it produces a Hungarian regime that is not particularly auditory, or regimes, it does produce some incredible music. The same thing in Bohemia. You have incredibly fantastic musical scores by nationalists such as Dvorak and Smetana. Dvorak, of course, contributing to our musical nationalism here in America. Nationalism finally arriving in America. We're late with everything in the 1920s with really decent pieces by Gershwin and Copland and Bernstein, Samuel Barber, people like that. So overall, revolutions are fascinating to talk about, and the music they produce is interesting, but not always spectacular. The music of nationalism is almost always spectacular. England is my favorite country in this regard because they produced a musical revolution without having to have an actual revolution. It's always good to have somebody do the revolution for you. That's my goal. Start the revolution without me. I think that's been said before. So that's what I have for you. Music, nationalism, and revolutions. It's going to be fabulous, either on Zoom or in person. I promise. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Thank you for this opportunity. I wish you well. Stay sane, stay safe. Try not to get COVID. Good luck with that. All right, be well, and it's been a pleasure as always. Bye.